Hello and welcome to Obinna TV. So for now, basically, does love and business go together? Can love and business go together? So you see Simon Kabu and Sarah Kabu. You saw director Trevor and Mungai Eve. So basically, can love and business go together? It appears when you introduce love to business situation, then it appears that it crumbles right away. So basically, you have Director Trevor and Mungai Eve, they separated. Of course, Mungai Eve was the face of the Mungai Eve channel that, of course, then Director Trevor took over. And Director Trevor was the strategist, was the man behind the scenes, was the person with the camera directing her and telling her what questions to ask, how to position herself. Of course, then, but then, of course, when money started coming in, they fell apart. They disagreed. Basically, Director Trevor says the reason they broke up the stroke that broke the camel's neck was when Director Trevor asked, when Mungai Eve asked to buy out Trevor. So basically, you can see that basically that relationship did not go far at all. So can love and business mix? Can love and business mix? You have Simon Kabu and Sarah Kabu. Basically, Bonfire Adventures is the brand name of is almost becoming the brand name of travel and vacation. That is Bonfire Adventures. The business entity is almost becoming the the verb for travel and vacation. And so basically, but right now that they appear headed for a split. Of course, Simon Kabu says they form the business together. It is a 50-50 split. But of course, Sarah Kabu says she is the founder and Simon Kabu was just employed as a CEO. So you can see how very much businesses and business and leisure is not mixing. Business and love is not mixing. So basically, can you date the person that you are a business partner with? Can you date the person that you are a business partner with? I think a lot of emotions come into play. I just think a lot of emotions come into play, and so that is not a very wise idea. That's not a very wise idea. I don't think it goes as well, because of course the beauty about it is that you are with this person through and through. Look at persons such as Abel Mutua and of course Judy Nyawira. They work together, and then of course they go to the office together, and then they come home again together. So basically work is office and office is work. So basically, work is office, and office, and that is home is office, and office is home. So basically, they have managed to stay. They have managed to stay married for that long, even as they are business partners. Of course, director Phil also comes in. He is a modest person. He is a methodical person, a person who has to analyze step by step. That is director Phil. But of course, then you have another working business partners that are someone that is managed by his wife, that is Njugush and Wakavinye. So Njugush and Wakavinye basically they are Njugush and Wakavinye basically they are also business partners. They do business with each other, while Wakavinye is the manager of Njugush, and so has helped him at least serious side of things. So basically, can love and business mix? Number one, how are you going to share out the profits? Maybe that's what really kills these partnerships that are based on love. These businesses that are based on love, how are you going to share the profits? Who brings what to the business? That's what these people ought to have asked in the first place. So that's it. Then we look at the middle class in Africa. So basically, right now you have the underman of basically you have social media democracy in Kenya, and so you have a lot of businesses are being able, a lot of change is coming from the middle class. Of course, you can't label them as keyboard warriors, basically these people that are on the Kenyan social media space, but they nearly caused a revolution. Basically, when they had half of the cabinet file, but of course, most of them were brought back in. But then, of course, that is the middle class. The beauty about the middle class is that they have some disposable income. They have they have great ideas, but it is just that the bad thing is that they are the ones who suffer the most. And remember, when Africa burns, when Kenya burns, the rich will just fly away. Just it. The rich will fly away. They can go to Canada, they can go to Australia, they can go to America, they can go to Europe, while the poor have nothing else except poverty. So they will not even be they will not even notice something has gone wrong because they have always known poverty. It is the middle class with their significant investments that will lose out when Africa burns. That's why I tend to think that Africa has to that Africa has to stand in a long way in order for the middle class. And I think the middle class is the class that keeps Africa together. It is the class that runs things. That is the middle class. The middle class is the class that runs things. The middle class is the class that runs our companies. And I think if the African middle class transfers just 1% of the ingenuity they have in running trillions of in managing trillions of shareholder capital, if they transfer just 1% of that, if the middle class transfer just 1% of the ingenuity they use in managing trillions of shareholder capital, if they transfer just that, just 1% of that into politics, then Africa will be a long way ahead. That is why I say that maybe we should have political parties based on issues, based on ideas, based on ideology. That's how these political parties will be answerable to our people. And when you have the middle class having great ideas, that's how we will be able to have an Africa that is really at the absolute bleeding edge of innovation. And I think if Africa, our middle class, they are doctors, they are nurses, they are engineers, they are accountants. Basically, they are the ones running the economy. So if we let them also run the businesses, they will be the ones that will cause change. And I think maybe we need to start a culture of that is a culture of donating to our political candidates. Look at the United States. When you want to run for office, you go to people they fundraise for you so that then they can own you. But that doesn't happen in Africa. In Africa, it is the drug dealers that fund you. It is the money launderers that fund you. It is a wash business. People just print fake money. A presidential candidate just printed fake money and store that money in their compound. So basically, this is the politics in Kenya that does just injustice to the country. And this is why then I say, if we are to be serious, we need to start funding these people that have ideas. And maybe a thing we can do is maybe have just a civic test, maybe have a civic test so that those who want to run office, then they can come take a civic test and maybe also take an aptitude test, because you need some sort of brain also to be able to manage our finances. Come and do a civic test, and then if you pass, and then you get to manage our resources. Not like now. It is the drug dealers that are funding these politicians. It is the money launderers. It is money printed out of washers that is funding these politicians. And you had the former Interior Minister, Fred Matiang'i, saying that our politicians basically are frauds. They are engaging in washers, and that's why the country is not moving forward. So if someone is going to use their money in order to if someone is going to use their money in order to run for office, then you can be sure that they will basically they will demand when they get elected, they will demand their money back, and that is just the way that we are not able to that's the way we are not able to hold them accountable there. So their first order of business once they get elected will be to steal and recoup their money. That will be their first order of business, to steal and recoup their money, and that's why Africa always loses. That's why when someone goes into office, the first 2 years is about stealing and recuperating what they lost. Then 1 year working, and then 2 years again stealing for the next election. So no one works actually in Africa. No one works for, and no one works actually. No politician works because the first 2.5 years are about stealing and recouping what they used during the campaigns, and the next 2.5 years is stealing for the next campaign. So no one works. That is why democracy in Africa just doesn't work. So if the middle class can fundraise for these candidates, if the middle class can get involved in politics, then basically we will be able to the middle class will be able to have better ideas. We can't just have an aptitude test to determine whether you have the brains to lead, and then of course a civic test in which we test your patriotism for the country, whether you are knowledgeable enough about the country, and then that is how we'll get to manage the country. Look at a country such as America. Basically, you have basically a country such as America, it has the democracy has always functioned in America because most of the leaders are drawn from the middle class. Even Donald Trump, as a billionaire as he is, he still fundraises. He was still fundraising for his campaigns. Even as Donald Trump, as much as he was a billionaire, he was still fundraising for majority of his campaign funds. So that's the step we need to go. Look at a place like Sweden, where even the prime minister does not even get a salary. Maybe they do their day job. So maybe we need to repeal the constitution that these political jobs will not attract any salary. So basically, people will just be doing it pro bono. Maybe we need to make politics pro bono. Maybe that's what we need. We need to make politics pro bono so that when someone wants to campaign for office, they still have their job. Maybe they are an accountant, they still do their accounting. Maybe they are doctors, they still practice medicine, and then maybe they meet in the evening, where then it can be pro bono, and then the people will get to work. That's how we can promote, and that's how we can promote the culture of the middle class getting involved in politics. Otherwise, these things that the middle class have built, that is, they have a parallel that is medical system. They have private insurance. They take their children to private schools. They live in gated communities, so they have electricity, so that when the national electricity supply system goes off, they don't have blackouts, but they can get a generator. So when you get that the middle class think they are living some sort of a bubble. But wait when they get a debilitating disease. Wait when they get a debilitating disease. What happens? The insurance runs out in 2 weeks. And that's when they remember that yes, we need systems that function. And I think if we had systems that function, then Africa will be a long Africa will be a place that we can all call home, because the systems will function. Africans will have clean, decent, rewarding jobs, and that's the way that we can promote Africa. So I think that the middle class really need to be able to. I think the middle class need to be able to take an active role in politics, but also be able to fund political candidates. And we should not say they are poor, because these rich people, how have they helped us? These rich people, how have they helped us except by stealing? So that's why I say that the middle class then And that's why I say that the middle class must take an active role in politics. The middle class must take an active role in politics. It is sad that the political pact in Africa is one of the super rich who provide the funds. It is sad that in Africa the political pact, the political process is a pact between the super rich who provide the funds and the downtrodden poor who act as the foot soldiers of the super rich. So the middle class is left out of that equation, but they are the ones who are managing trillions of shareholder capital. So how comes these people that are managing trillions of shareholder capital are not the ones managing their countries? And that's why we need to empower the middle class so that then they can bring Africa up to speed. So bye for now, until the next time. Bye for now.